Hello, Laura Parrish here, your hashtag TNS Mastermind, and it is Thursday, September 12th, 2013, and I'm coming to you guys from my home here in Harrisonburg, Virginia, and if you're watching this video right now, it's because it's Thursday night at 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time, and you've shown up to our TNS-hangouts.com website to watch our weekly live hangout that we do every Thursday night at 9 o'clock Eastern. Or if it's not 9 o'clock p.m. yet on Thursday and it's during the day, you've come to this because you've seen a link either on someone from my team's page talking about the hangout, or you've seen a link from my page, or you got an email from someone about our hangout tonight. So we're doing something a little bit different this week, obviously, because you're seeing this, and it's just me. The hangout is not live tonight. We have a huge leadership retreat that is coming up this weekend. So in lieu of doing a live hangout tonight, I've decided just to take, 15, 20 minutes out of my day to talk to you guys and talk about Empower Network a little bit, and where I'm at and what's going on and why we're not doing the hangout specifically tonight, and just give you guys some content and some value and some things to think about, because there's a reason you're here. There's a reason you're watching this at this very moment. So that's what I'd like to do. As I said, I have a TNS Elite Leadership Retreat coming up this weekend. It actually starts Saturday, which is the day after tomorrow, right? And I'm busy preparing and getting ready for that. And in talking to other team members on my team who are going to be attending the retreat, they're all running around like chickens with their heads cut off, trying to get everything organized and packed because, see, I don't have to fly anywhere. The retreat's local to where I live, but everyone else is flying in or driving in, so they're busy preparing and getting their children ready and nannies and the whole nine yards and everything that comes along with preparing to go on a trip. So I decided that in the best interest of the team to give them a break, right? And not ask them to take time out of what's going on with them and their busy schedule to do the hangout. But I still, again, wanted to give you guys something. So here I am, and I'm taking some time out of my day to talk to you because that's important to me. You guys show up every Thursday night expecting a phenomenal hangout, and you always get one. And since we're not going to be having that tonight, I still wanted to give you something phenomenal to watch and to listen to. And hopefully you'll take something away from what you're watching right now. So, in regard to the retreat, I've been uber stressed out, and this is what I want to talk about with you guys, right? You ever have those days where it just feels like nothing is going right for you, and no matter how many times you try or different things you do, it just nothing seems to go right for you, right? And then the days that you want to do so well and you want to do so perfect and you want to be everything for everyone and be the best mom and the best daughter and the best sister or the best brother, or the best son, or whatever the case may be, and you just feel like you're not measuring up. I'm sure those of you out there watching this can relate to that. And I'm really in that spot right now. And I want to tell you a story, okay? And it does relate. And this story is something that happened today with my daughter. She had a dentist appointment today, and I completely forgot about it because I'm so busy and hectic, right? And living life on life's terms and all that good stuff. And yesterday, by the way, was an amazingly not good day because it was one of those days where everything was going wrong. But today I took my daughter to the dentist, and my daughter, I have to tell you, we brush her teeth at least twice a day. She religiously brushes her teeth, and we're not like perfect on the flossing, but you're supposed to floss, teach your kids all that. So she does do that sometimes, not all the time. But her teeth look great. But she's been complaining for like the last month that her teeth were, one of her teeth were kind of sore or whatever. But we didn't see any cavities or anything like that, so we weren't worried about it. So today at the dentist, what should have been a 30-minute appointment turned into an hour-and-a-half appointment because she has cavity. And I was just like super upset about it. And if you're a parent, you can understand where I'm coming from because you're like, how on earth did that happen, right? Like, how does that happen when you work so hard to do such preventative things, right? To be proactive and not to be reactive, right? And so we were talking, I was talking to the dentist, and, she was like really serious about it. She was like, it looks like it's abscessed. We're going to do some more x-rays. When was the last time she had x-rays? Because we just moved. So I called the other dentist to find out when it was. And she says, and it was clean. And I was like, yeah, it was clean. She didn't have anything. And she said, well, for it to be as bad as it is, there should have been some sign of it then. So if there wasn't, like, she couldn't figure out what was going on, really. And I was upset, and she wants to do a root canal on my 6-year-old daughter. And on a baby tooth, nonetheless, and put a silver cap on it. And I'm like, no, I don't want a silver cap because I don't want kids to make fun of her, for having a silver cap on her teeth. Oh, you've got a cavity. I was like, put a porcelain cap on it. I'll pay whatever it takes. And they're like, oh, well, they don't, make porcelain caps for children's teeth. And I'm like, I couldn't get away around it, right? So anyway, the moral of the story is the dentist looked at me and she said, I can't fault you. And I was like, what do you mean? She said, well, if her teeth had been neglected and she hadn't been taken care of, I would be able to tell that because all of her teeth would show signs of that. Her gums would show signs of that. Her teeth would show signs of, like brownish and just cavities starting here and there throughout her entire mouth. I would be able to see the lack of, effort in taking care of her teeth. She said, but that's not the case. What the case is her teeth are immaculate. All of her teeth are beautiful. None of her teeth show any signs of neglect as far as, daily hygiene and maintenance and things like that. It's just this one tooth. And she said that leads me to believe that there was something developmentally wrong with her tooth as it was formed, and came in, which has nothing to do with me or my husband or, my nanny or how we take care of her teeth or teach her to take care of her teeth. It's just the way that particular tooth developed. And, of course, that made me feel better, right? Because then I was like, okay, I didn't do anything wrong, right? But there's a lesson in that, right? There's a lesson in the fact that sometimes that's just the way things are. And no matter how hard you work, right? No matter how hard you try to make sure everything is just the way you want it to be, right? How everything is just perfect and that you can be everything that you need for everyone. The perfect mom, the perfect dad, the perfect brother, the perfect sister, the perfect son, the perfect daughter, the perfect leader, right? And this is where this sunk in with me today. Sometimes you just have to step back and say that things are, and I say this a lot, and a lot of the leaders inside Empower Network say this, things are the way they're supposed to be. You're exactly where you're supposed to be right now. If you're watching this video right now, it's because you're supposed to be watching this video right now. There was something that led you to this page, to the link that you clicked on to bring you here. There's a reason that you're listening to it. And, so we try so hard to make sure everything is just the way we think it should be, instead of just being and allowing things to happen. And I often forget that my own best thinking got me into some of the situations that I was in my past, right? And it wasn't until I gave up trying to control everything. It wasn't until I gave up and said, I can't do it all, I need help, right? That things started to change in my life. Most of you guys know I'm a recovering alcoholic. I've been sober for almost 2.5 years, and I couldn't fight that on my own, right? I had to give up. I had to say, I can't do this. I need help. And then when I did that, I got what I needed, right? Most recently, I put a post up on Facebook about two people who are extraordinarily special and important to me, William Wood and Vicki Bowden, and how they recognized that I needed help and didn't let me say no, right? And because of that, I said, okay, and things turned out for me the way that they should have been, and the way that they needed to be, which I ended up with this amazingly awesome assistant now, Caitlin, that I have, and she's been with me for about a week. And that's only because I said okay. That's only because I asked for help. Well, I didn't ask for help. I was kind of forced to get help. But the point being was I let someone help me, right? I gave up the control, right? I stopped worrying about trying to do it all myself. And it really relates to this weekend and this leadership retreat that's coming up and I was talking to someone that I care deeply about earlier today, and I've been super, super frustrated and overwhelmed because this is a really, really big deal. This is really important stuff. Like what we teach and train on changes people's lives. It's not something to be taken lightly. I'm not holding a retreat and paying for everybody just to come up and party for 5 days, right? Have some very, very special things planned. And the intention that I have for my retreat for my team is to help form things for them in their own mind, to help them change their life forever. And that is like massive stuff. That's huge. That's important. That's not to be taken lightly or played with, right? And I was saying earlier to my friend today, it can be very overwhelming because it wasn't so long ago, right? It wasn't so long ago. And I talk about a lot not forgetting where you came from, because when you do, you end up right back there, right? So it's very important to me in my recovery and in my health and in my life to never forget where I came from so I don't end up back there. So I was talking to them and saying it wasn't so long ago that, I was in a very different place. There wasn't so long ago that I wasn't sober, that I wasn't making the right decisions in my life, that nobody would have wanted to listen to anything that I had to say. And I even said that on stage in Chicago back in April, that I never believed I would have anything valuable to say out of my mouth that would help anyone, that would change anyone's life. And this role that I have now as a leader inside the Empower Network is an amazing role, and I love it. It means the world to me because I now have a vehicle and I now have the quote unquote stage to do what I know I was always meant to do in life. I just didn't know how, which is to help people in a positive fashion, to affect and influence them to change their life so that they can be the best them possible, right? But in stepping into that and remembering that it wasn't so long ago that I wasn't in that spot, I feel like sometimes that so much is expected of me. People look at me and say, well, Laura's going to deliver an awesome presentation, or she's going to say exactly what I need to hear, or this leadership retreat that's coming up this weekend is just going to be phenomenal, and I'm going to get all this stuff. And so many expectations are out there. And I do it to myself too, because again, I find myself in that position of wanting to be everything for everyone and wanting to be perfect and do it all. And I have to stop and just step back and realize that, and we talked about this too, my friend and I, and I want to say this, I want to put this out there. It doesn't matter what your background is, your religious affiliation, what your faith is, whatever it is. If you're an atheist, it doesn't matter. If you're a Christian, whatever. Okay, I'm just going to say that up front. But everyone has some sort of belief system, period. Everyone does. And I have a higher power. Now, I'm a Christian, so I choose to call my higher power God. Whoever yours is up to you, right? But we were talking this morning and last night and reminded me that that our best, our greatness in what we believe in our faith pours out of us when we are our weakest, right? And that's just some quoting from the Bible. Not quoted, I obviously didn't quote it, but the basics and the basis of what we were talking about is from the Bible. That we are our strongest when we're weak, because then we allow God or whoever your higher power is to work through us. And remembering that my best thinking back when I wasn't doing the right things in life got me there. And that, and looking at the pattern and progression in my life, that really good things started happening to me when I gave up control, right? When I needed help with my drinking and let other people help me and lift me up, things got better in my life, when I decided to get a nanny because I couldn't run my business and take care of my kids at the same time, things got better because I had someone to help my kids and allow me to do what I needed to do. When I got a housekeeper to help clean my house so that I could, not have to worry about doing it all, things got better for me, the landscape, everything, just the little pieces. When I needed an assistant and haven't been able to get one, but I tried to do it all and it was forced on me, hey, you need some help and we're going to do this for you. And I said, okay. And I gave up the control. Things got better for me. There was another situation that happened while I was on vacation where I lost internet. The key to my room all of a sudden didn't work and no key worked, and they actually had to call in mechanics to actually take the door apart and all this stuff. And I was forced to not be able to be on my hangout that Thursday night. And I was sitting on a floor in front of my hotel door, bawling my eyes out 30 minutes before my hangout was supposed to start. And I was forced to give up control. I was forced to make a decision. I was forced to say, to heck with it, and just not care, which is not me. Everyone who knows me knows that. That's not who I am. That's not my heart. Or I was forced to ask for help. And guess what I did? Of course, I asked for help. I picked up the phone and I called Jennifer and I called Patrick and I said, I need help, right? And when I did that and things took place and things formed and things shaped exactly the way they were supposed to, the hangout got done without a hitch. Jennifer, ran the hosting piece of it, and Patrick set the technical piece up, and I finally got in my room and got to get dressed and all that, and got to speak with someone I care about to get me centered, and then I get on the hangout, and I didn't even get on it. I was on it, but nobody knew I was on it because I was just sitting there and I was watching in awe because I was exactly where I was supposed to be, right? I was watching my team do amazing work without me, right? And I was like, oh, this is so awesome. And I just watched them, and they had no idea I was watching them. And then when they found out after the fact, they were kind of freaked out. They're like, we knew you were watching us, right? But I just sat and watched in disbelief of what happens when I was forced to give up control, right? I was forced to make a decision that and allow other people to do things that I literally could not possibly do because of the circumstances that I was in. And I had to ask for help. And I had to have faith and trust that the people that I asked for help from could do what I was asking them to do, right? And not only did they do it, they did it exceptionally well. Exceptionally well. And then I jumped on the Hangout, and got in and talked for a little bit. Then we got off the call, and it was all over and everything. And I went back up to my room that night on vacation. And not only, obviously, was able to get back in my room by then, but the internet was there again, which was the whole point of me leaving my room and not being able to get back in the first place because I had no internet and it had gone. But it was like it had never happened, and it was just ironic, and I completely believe that it happened for a reason. That it was there and that it worked again, like nothing had ever happened. And I'm like, really, because, but it did happen for a reason. I was forced to stop, right? I was forced to stop being controlling. I was forced to sit back and be taught a lesson, right? To be taught a lesson. You see, I believe that everything happens for a reason. And I believe that even when things happen that we don't understand, right, that frustrate us to no end, that just get us down in the dumps, that make us an emotional wreck, where you just don't know what you're going to do, and you're trying to do it all and put it all together and make everything work and be perfect. The best thing, first of all, let me finish that sentence. I believe all that happens for a reason, even if we don't understand it. And it's okay if we don't, because it's not our responsibility to understand everything when it happens. One day you will understand, right? And I believe that one day, it may not be right then and there, but an understanding of why things happen will come to you. And then you'll look back and say, oh, that's why that happened. That happens to me all the time now, right? Because when you just let go, and things happen and you just let go and stop trying to figure out why and just let it be and just be, then it comes to you, right? And that's what happened. I just needed to me, that's the perfect example of saying of things building and building and building and building. And then it gets to the point where you're ready to emotionally and mentally break. And then you're just like, and then you're like, and you have like this breakdown, right? And I've been like that for the last couple of days because, like I said yesterday, like everything was going wrong. And then today, like, with my daughter, a long time at the dentist, because today was the day I was really going to shape what I was doing for this weekend in my retreat for my team to help them change their lives, right? And I just haven't had the time to spend on that today because all these other things kept coming up. And it's just emotional and it's mental and it's just like, I want to pull my hair out, right? But that's okay. And what happened with my daughter at the dentist was a perfect example of, we try, and to make things perfect, to make things just the way that we want them to be, to make things perfect, and everything. And we just do our best all the time. And sometimes it's just not supposed to happen the way we want to happen, whether we understand why or not. And it really teaches you to just step back and say, it's okay, and just be. It forces you to do that. And I relate this to Empower Network because I said on stage in Chicago that when I stopped worrying about making money and I started having a genuine care and concern and compassion for people who came to me for help, right? For people who came to me and said, this is what's going on in my life. And when I actually started listening, it didn't take me long to do it because I'm a compassionate person. And it wasn't figuring out the secret, because there is no secret. We say it all the time. The secret's inside of you. The secret is your heart. The secret is your passion. The secret is your love for what you do and your belief, right? That's the secret. And when I tapped into that and I just sat back and really just worried about helping people, that's when I started making money, right? That's when I started making money. That's the secret, okay? And so for this weekend and for what's going on now and tonight, and like I said, you're watching this because we're not doing the live call tonight, I have to just, I'm at that, breaking point. I just have to sit back and be okay with just being. And in Empower Network, you come in wanting to make money. I know, because that's what I did, right? Oh, 100% commissions. I want to make 100% commissions, of course. We all join Empower because we want to make money. And, some people think, well, maybe it's a scam, or maybe I'll just get into the $25 level. And some people will go gung-ho and get all in the whole 9 yards. But we all come in with the intention of making money. But it's not long for most people until you realize that really this isn't about making money. This is about changing your life. And Empower Network teaches you to just be, to just believe in yourself. And Empower Network believes in you until you can believe in yourself. And you say, well, what does that mean? Empower Network believes in me. And what I mean is Empower Network is made up of a community of amazing individuals, of amazing leaders who love each other, who care about each other, who are not cutthroat, who want to lift each other up and believe in each other and say, you can do this. You can live the way that you want to live. You can have the things that you deserve to have. You don't have to live the way that you've been living anymore. That's what Empower Network is. That's who Empower Network is made up of, or people like that. So that's what I mean when I say, let Empower Network believe in you until you can believe in yourself, because of all these people, myself included, who want you to be the best you, who want you to be able to step into your power, right? So that you can live the way that you want to live and provide for your family the way you want to provide for them. So if you're watching this video, I know that I've connected with you somehow, because everyone has had those days that I'm talking about. It doesn't matter, what your background is, if your background's the same as my background or different than my background, or, if you're a dad versus a mom, or if you're not a parent at all. It doesn't matter who you are or what your background is or what your nationality is or what color you are. None of that. It doesn't matter what your sex is, all right? None of that matters, right? But I know that what I've just said here in the last 20 minutes, you can relate to on some level, right? Because we've all had those days where we just felt like everything's gone wrong. And we've all had those days where it just seems like no matter what we do and how perfect we want to be for everyone and how we want everything to go right and we try so hard, it just doesn't work out that way. And so I know that in listening to this that you've related to something. And I know that you're saying, I get it, right? And I know that you're saying, I too want to be able to just be, right? I too want to be able to live the way I want to live and provide for my family the way I want to provide for my family. I want that lifestyle. And I'm here to tell you that you can have it. Now, I can't guarantee you that you'll make any money inside the Empower Network, because I'm not you, okay? I'm me. I can tell you the possibilities of it. I mean, you can see these checks behind me. Well, there's one up there, $53,325. I made that in 90 days, okay? 90 days. Income disclaimer, go to www.empowernetwork.com/income.php to see the average earnings of an Empower Network affiliate. But what I'm telling you is you can make that kind of money in 90 days. You can make that kind of money in 30 days. You can make that kind of money in one day. I mean, Justin Beringia had a $40,000 day in one day about a month ago, right? And you can also make nothing. And I'm telling you that too. But I can't tell you exactly what you will or what you won't make, because I'm not you. I don't know what your level of determination is. I don't know if you're serious about changing your life. I don't know if you're really going to do whatever it takes to live the way you want to live and be the person that you want to be. I know that I am. And I know that I will continue to do whatever it takes to live the way I want to live and to be the person I want to be, and to lift each other up and inspire other people and to motivate other people and to affect and influence other people, because that's my why. You've got to figure out what your why is and if it's big enough, right? When your why gets big enough, the possibilities are limitless, honestly. So what you need to do is whoever sent you to this video, right? Whoever sent you to this Hangout page to watch the Hangout, you'll obviously watch this video because we're not doing the live Hangout tonight, okay? What you need to do is you need to click the Join Now button below. And whoever sent you to this page, that button is linked directly to them. So when you sign up, you'll be signing up under them. So what you need to do is click the Join Now button, get out your credit or your debit card, enter your information in as it asks you to enter it in, and get started inside Empower Network. Because you need to remember something. You may be scared, and that's okay. Fear is, part of life. It's our defense mechanism for saying, because there are so many scams out there. Oh, well, what if, okay? I understand the fear, right? But you also need to understand something about fear. that fear is paralyzing. And you need to understand that nothing changes if nothing changes. If you're sick and tired of the way you're living, if you're fed up with not living the way you want to live and going to a 9 to 5 every day and not making the money you need to make and having to put your kids in daycare and not being able to do nice birthday parties or buy good Christmas gifts or, spend the amount of money that you need to spend to take care of your family or live on welfare or whatever, if you're tired of all that stuff, something's got to change, right? And if you don't do anything to change it, if you take no action to change where you're at in your life right now, then guess what? Nothing is going to change. So get out your credit or debit card, click the link below, get signed up inside Empower Network, right? Make the decision and start taking action to change your life today, because you never know, right? You just never know if you're going to be making that $50,000 a month, $100,000 a month, $5,000 a month, $10,000 a month, whatever you want to make a month, unless you get on the ball and say, I want that and I'm going to do it. Period, no matter what. And I'm not going to give up on myself, because I can promise you one thing for sure. No one inside of Empower Network will give up on you, ever. You don't have to worry about that. So you know what to do. I've already told you a couple times. Click the link below, get out your card, get signed up, get started, and, just decide that you're not going to live the way that you're living anymore. And I want to thank you for letting me do this video for you and spend some time with you and share just what's been going on with me, because, I might be a leader inside Empower, but I'm still human. I still put my pants on the same way, and I still have the days that aren't perfect, and I still get nervous because I want to be perfect for everybody, and I want to provide value and content and be inspiring and all that. But I also remember that it wasn't long ago that I wasn't doing any of the things that I'm doing now, and I set expectations. People have expectations of me, and I set expectations for myself as well, and sometimes they're too high, and I just need to be reminded to stop and just be, and let people help me, and ask for help, and just have faith, that everything happens the way it's supposed to happen, and that everything will be perfect, and everything will turn out just the way it's supposed to turn out. And as long as I can always remember that and be in that space, then everything will be okay, and I can have a happy and a light heart, and not a heavy heart, worried all the time, right? So if that's the frame of mind you want to be in all the time, you know what to do. Click the link below to get started. And I can't wait to see you inside of Empower Network. You guys have a good night.